Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. My honorable to all reviewer and my honorable to all audience. My name is Rita Febriana, student of Physics Education Magister Program Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia. In this opportunity, I would like to present my paper about evaluation of critical thinking skills of class 10 high school student on the material of Newton laws. Introduction. Educational characteristic in the area of Industrial Revolution 4.0 emphasize students to be more effective, critical, creative, responsive, and innovative. One of the skills that are highly needed in the 21st century so that the student can contribute to society is critical thinking skills. Critical thinking skills prepare students to practice reasoning, analysis, and depth, especially in learning science. Critical thinking skills are needed in processing all the information needed and obtained in the old digital area. Information gained from an interview with one of the physics teacher in Duri is that student critical thinking skills were not guided well. Most teachers still apply conventional learning and do not refer to the student critical thinking skills. Most students lack the courage to express idea or opinion and question in discussion, group work, or during the learning process. The learning model or methods applied are usually lectures, discussion, and demonstration. That learning that takes place in the classroom is still teacher-centered. Teacher-centered. Students are not able to solve and provide solutions to problems encountered. Sometimes students misinterpret learning concepts that result in less self-confidence. Experimental method. This research uses a descriptive method with a quantitative approach. The research subject used in the study consists of 36 students of class 10 academic year 2019 and 2020 at one of the high schools in the city of Duri. The instrument of the instrument used in the study was the form of a critical thinking skills test set in the form of description question with a total of 20 items. The description items used are constructed using indicators based on indicators of critical thinking skills proposed by Ennis. From 20 items, 15 valid items are obtained. Analysis data. A valid problem is then analyzed based on its reliability of this item, with the reliability coefficient values being the sufficient category. The analyze using descriptive analysis technique based on the percentage of the student who answer correctly and incorrectly from the critical thinking skills test. Result and discussion. Based on the result of the analysis and calculation that has been done, the average percentage of scores obtained from the critical thinking skills of 36 students is as follows. Based on figure 1 above, it can be seen that in general, the average score of the student critical thinking skills are in the low category. There are no students whose critical thinking skills are in the very high category. 5.56% student critical thinkings are in the high category. 16.67% student critical thinking skills are in the medium category. 72.2% student critical thinking skills are in the low category, and 5.56% student skill critical thinking in the very low category. The low critical thinking skills of a student can be seen in their inability to solve physical problems, both problems found in the daily life or physics problems in the form of problems. Most students are not familiar with solving problems by presenting facts in detail from the problem. The selection of the learning strategies of methods that are less precise so that the habit of training students to develop critical thinking skill is not implemented in learning process. The teacher does not have the skill in making teaching materials that can be improve students' critical thinking skills. The average result of each aspect of indicator student critical thinking can be seen in the following diagram. According to the information from diagram 2 above, the critical thinking is known that the total number of the student, 49% of students can work on problem in the aspect of critical thinking skills, providing simple or basic explanation. 59.3% students can work on problems in aspect of critical thinking skills, namely the basic in making decision or support. 39.5% students can work on question on aspect critical thinking skill in inference. 56.5% students can work on question on aspect critical thinking skill further clarification, and 57% of students can work on problems on aspect of critical thinking skill strategies and tactics. The result of this data indicate that student critical thinking skills are still low. This means that there are many students who have not mastered the ability to think critically well. Based on figure 2, it can be seen that the third aspect for the indicator or inference, most students are in the very low category. In this case, most students are not accustomed to deducting and educating the logic of thinking in answering the problem presented. Students are not accustomed to asking and expressing their opinion during the learning process, so that students have difficulty when faced questions that ask for an explanation. Students are rarely involved in thinking and developing their mindset in making decision or conclusion during the learning process. Conclusion. The critical thinking skills of Mandau 3 high school students in Bengkalis Regency are still relatively low. This is indicated by the result of the student critical thinking skills test. The result of the study can provide teacher as an educator with information and illustration about the condition of the student critical thinking skills. The teacher can make various efforts in improving student critical thinking skills in accordance with the demands of the curriculum in 21st century. Some of these efforts are through learning innovation. Replacing all learning methods in the form lectures with appropriate learning models applied in the learning process in an effort to improve student critical thinking skills. The teacher should also be able to design learning strategies, learning resources, and teaching materials and improve the quality of the learning process. The teacher should be able to innovate in selecting and determining learning strategies in school that are appropriate and can develop resources and teacher materials that are able to improve student critical thinking skills to train and develop their critical thinking skills. Last not least, I would like to thank to the principal, to the research site subject teachers, and 10 grade school students who are very helpful and supportive in this research. Thank you.